Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Cara, and if you're new here, I make videos all about sewing. For today's video, I thought I would talk about some advice that I have for creating your dream wardrobe if you want to sew it. So basically, there's so many videos out there that is like advice for beginners for sewing, and it's all great. It's amazing. Definitely watch those if you're a beginner in sewing, and it's advice like iron every seam and like be very accurate cutting and change your needles and use the needles appropriate to the fabric. Amazing advice. Definitely follow that advice. So this video is more advice for people that want to sew clothes that they will actually wear. So I find having good sewing and then actually sewing clothes that make it into your closet on like a rotation are two different things. You can sew the most beautiful garment and the seams are beautiful. It's finished immaculately. It's nicely pressed. And then you don't wear it. Like, why? Why don't you wear it? So these are just some points that I've come across in my own life. I ask myself these questions when I'm starting a sewing project. And it's just some things that I've put into practice that helps me fill my wardrobe with clothes that I actually wear. I wear like 95% handmade clothes. I think I have one pair of jeans now that I didn't make, and then I've got one pair of leggings that I didn't make that I wear. But like every dress and my undergarments, I haven't made undergarments yet, but I wear dresses all the time. They're all made by me, and all of my sweaters and tops, like almost everything that I wear every day is made by me. And so this has been a big trial and error how to actually make clothes that I like to wear on a daily basis. So here's some advice. So number one, be so realistic when you're measuring yourself. The number that you see on that ruler measuring tape, it is not a judgment about you. It is just how you make your clothing fit you. So don't hold it really tight. Don't hold it too loose. You want it against your body. If you are struggling with taking the measurements in a way that's like you're not trying to give yourself a certain measurement, have somebody else do it. Have them stand behind you and have them actually write down the numbers. Divorce yourself from it a little bit if you have to. And if you're somebody who works in inches, get it written down in centimeters. Or if you work in centimeters, get it written down in inches so that you can maybe have a little bit of distance from that number if it is something that you are emotionally attached to. But that number is how you make your clothing fit you properly. So having the proper measuring when you are measuring yourself, it is extremely important. Also, if you are making yourself like a nice dress, like this dress, for example, measure yourself in the undergarments that you're actually going to wear it in. So if you're going to make yourself a beautiful strapless dress that you wear a strapless bra that gives you like nice cleavage, measure yourself in that bra and then use those measurements for that dress. Because if you are just wearing your normal like bralette and your push-up bra gives you like a couple inches of extra chest, then that dress is not going to fit you properly if you make it according to the bralette measurements and not the push-up bra measurements. So this just a little thing. Make it according, especially like fancy garments, according to what you are going to wear with them rather than just your everyday body. So number two, learn how to grade a pattern to your body. Every pattern company uses different measurements for their patterns. There's no standardized, it's just like the same in stores. There's no standardized measuring for like what is a medium, what is a large, what's a size 16, what's a size 20. In some pattern companies, I'm a size 14 on the top. In some pattern companies, I'm a size 20 on the top. And those are like radically different measurements, numbers. So if I were to take the size 20 and just be like, okay, I'm a size 20 in every pattern company, it's not going to fit, right? So you need to take your measurements and look, and then check. Do you have the same size in every point that your garment is supposed to fit you. So garments, they're made on a block, right? But your body is not a block. You have curves, you've got angles, you've got different shapes than what that block is. If you find a block that fits you perfectly, beautiful. That's great. But most pattern companies, they're not going to have your measurements. So typically, again, I'll use myself as an example. For my over the bust measurement, I'm like between a size 14 and 16 for a lot of pattern companies. Now, for my full bust measurement, there is a 5-inch difference between my upper bust and my full bust, which means if I were to make a cup size, it's like a size D or E. But if you go with the pattern measurement of your full bust, or if I go with the pattern measurement of my full bust instead of my upper bust, then it's going to be too big on my shoulders. So what you have to do is use the upper bust measurement, and then either if the company has cup sizes, go by that, but do a full bust adjustment if you've got big boobs. If you've got really small boobs, maybe do a flat bust adjustment. And then for the waist, my measurement for my waist is typically around the same as my bust. So if I'm going to use an elastic at the waist, then I'll use like the size of the waist, or I will taper it out. If it's a fitted garment like this, I'll taper it out so that the waist is the correct graded size. And then my hips are all over the place. So I'm like a size 20 to 22 hip. They go real far out there. So if I'm going to make a dress that is like a form-fitted dress, which I've done before, I have to grade it out at the hips. Otherwise, it just won't fit. And if you choose just one, if you're like, I'm just going to choose the one in the middle because it fits the most, there's going to be places on you it does not fit. Especially like if you've got bigger hips and you use your waist measurement, then it's going to be really, really tight on the hips. Or if you use your hip measurement, which is the biggest size, it's going to be really big everywhere else. So learn how to grade. Don't just choose a measurement. Choose all of your measurements. And this goes not just for yourself, but for your kids too. If you're sewing for your kids, don't just choose the size of clothing they're in. Don't just choose the medium measurement for what they're in. My son is a size 5 height, my middle son, but he's like a size 2 width. And if I make him a size 5 everywhere, his pants fall off. So grade between and you will get clothes that actually fit. And the key, the first thing of making a wardrobe for yourself is having clothes that actually fit you. And isn't that why people sew? So that they can make things that fit them? So make sure you are checking all the measurements and making things that fit. And then I feel like I really went on a big rant about that one, but I'm like really passionate about, having things fit your body correctly. And even I still struggle with it. Like doing full bust adjustments, to me, it's really annoying. But I know if I want to have something that actually fits my body properly, that's what I need to do. So, number 3, check the seam allowances every time for every pattern, for every company before you start sewing. Check it every time. This is kind of more into the generic advice, but it's still in the like fitting your garments to your body advice. So seam allowances, there is no standardized ones, just as there is no standardized measurement charts. Always check. If you think you know, still check. It's going to say every pattern company has it listed somewhere. Sometimes it's hard to find, which is really annoying, but it will be there somewhere. So go find it before you start sewing. And if you take a little break from that project, check it again before you start again. This seems like kind of simple advice, but if you're making a garment that has like a 1/4 inch sewing allowance and you use 1/2 inch sewing allowance, you will not have something that fits. It will be way too tight because 1/2 inch in every seam turns into a full inch real quick. All right. Now, number 4, when you are looking for patterns to sew, Look at your closet first. Look at what you actually wear. Go into your closet and take a look of the things that you like to wear the most. There are so many patterns coming out all the time. There's so many trendy things that are coming out and they look so cute. Think to yourself, is there anything in my closet that's like this? And if not, is there a reason why? Is it because maybe I don't like this style on myself? But some things are so cute on other people, but then they're not great when you put them on yourself. And this might be something that you have noticed when you've gone to stores and you tried things on, but it's different when you're sewing for yourself. So before you sew a new style for yourself, especially one of the trendy new ones, go to a store, see if you can find it in store and try it on. And if you can't find a single version of that thing in store that you like, you probably just don't like that style on you. Like, for example, barrel leg pants. I think they're cute on other people. I think they're really cute on other people. In fact, I made my daughter a pair and I think they're cute on her. I've never made myself a pair. I have no intention of ever making myself a pair. Not only do I not wear pants, but I don't like things that are roomy on my legs. And that's just something I know. So because I know this, I've never been tempted to make that style of pants for myself. Now, if you're somebody who very rarely wears dresses and only wears them on very specific occasions, then maybe sewing a bunch of pretty dresses is not going to be practical for your life and for your closet. And then sewing those things, they're not going to get worn. When you put so much time and effort and money for the fabric into sewing something, and then you don't wear it because you realize when it's on you that it's just not your style, it's kind of heartbreaking. Like it's really upsetting, at least for me. And that was a big thing. When I started sewing, I would see trends, I would see other people wearing something, I would be like, that's so cute. I want to do that. I want to sew that. And I would. And then it would just sit in my closet and I wouldn't wear it because it's just not me. It's not my style. It doesn't make me feel good when I wear it. So yeah, don't just go by the trends. Look at your closet. Your closet is your closet for a reason. Those are the clothes you actually wear. Maybe if you're just starting out, try replicating, find a pattern that's similar to something that you love already and try making that first. That's my advice. So number 5, I have the exact same advice for fabric as I do for sewing patterns. There are so many beautiful fabrics out there, and this is a trap I have fallen into so many times. Just because a fabric is beautiful in the store does not mean that you are going to enjoy wearing that fabric. So when you're looking at fabric, think, do I have anything that is like this in my closet? Color-wise, texture-wise. Is it something that I'm lacking that I think I would wear? Or is it something that I'm lacking because I've never bought it because I have no desire to wear it? I don't think, well, like color seasons are like a whole thing that are really popular right now. And I think there is some, like, there's definitely some science behind it. You don't need to strictly stick to that. I don't. Obviously, I mean, I don't know what color season I am, and I love this blues, and that's what I wear. But if that's a starting off point for you, maybe start off there and see, like, hold the fabric up to your face. Do you think this fabric looks good beside your face? Like, I've seen so many like pretty reds and pinks and oranges, and I've even bought some fabrics in those colors, and then I use them to make my daughter clothing because I don't like wearing those colors. I think that they bring out the red tones in my skin, and then I just look like an orange or a tomato. Anyway, personal opinion, and everybody has their own personal opinions. It's just like a color that might be your favorite color in life might not be your favorite color to wear. My mother's favorite color is yellow. It's her absolute favorite color. She paints almost every room in our house yellow. different variations of yellow and orange, you will not see her wearing that color. She does not look good in it, and she knows this, so she does not buy clothes that are that color. It's just, so if you already are not buying clothes that are the color of that fabric that you think is so beautiful, consider, do I think this fabric is beautiful objectively, or do I think this fabric would look good on me? Because if it's just beautiful objectively, then don't buy it. For at least not for making a garment for yourself. Don't put yourself through that. It's the same with the pattern. If you make yourself something out of this beautiful fabric and then you don't wear it, you're going to feel guilty about it because you're going to be like, it's beautiful, but it just doesn't look good on me. So, number 6. We're getting close to the end, I promise. Number 6, pay attention to fabric recommendations. In a pattern, typically it will tell you what fabric is recommended for that pattern. And that is like the weight of it. And different weights will give you different looks. So for example, the dress that I'm wearing right now is a cotton voile, and it has a nice drape. It's going to be very breezy in the summertime. The front, the top, how am I saying this? The bodice is structured. So there's like a thicker cotton inside, but the skirt isn't. This dress in, sorry, a quilting cotton would just kind of like stick out like a tent, which that might be what you want from it. But look at what is on, what the model is wearing that you like of the pattern, and see what type of fabric it is. Because typically they will say somewhere what type of fabric was used in their samples. That's not necessarily true if they're using tester photos for their photos, but if they're not, if they're using like real photographed models, then they'll tell you what the samples are made of, typically. And if you really like how something looks, find something in that same, find a fabric that's the same composition to try. When you're lifting up a fabric, let it fall over your hand. This will tell you how well it drapes, how flowy it is. If it tents out, then it's not going to have the drape and the flow. And if you're trying to make like a utility jacket, that's what you want. You want it to be thick. You want it to have structure. If you're trying to make a flowy dress for summer, you don't want it to tent out. You want it to have that flowy, the lack of structure, so that it is fluid around your body. Okay. So, my last point, my last advice. And this is a little one. This is my add-on. Add the pockets. If you're making a dress, add the pockets. If you're making pants, put all the pockets. If you're making a shirt, put the pocket. The pockets, or the details, shall I say. The details like that are what makes garments look store-bought and not handmade. And the more professional your handmade clothing looks, the more likely you are to wear it, typically, I have found. And that's because people are so surprised that you made it. But also those details, they're for convenience, typically, not just decoration. So having those added conveniences in your clothing just adds to the layers of you actually using those pieces of clothing. My dresses that have pockets get worn 10 times more than my dresses that don't have pockets. And if the pattern doesn't have pockets, find a generic pocket pattern and add it in, because you can add side seam pockets to the majority of dresses. If a dress has a side seam, you can put in a pocket. That's my biggest regret with some of my clothes. And I do wear them still, but my biggest regret is that they do not have pockets. And so I don't wear them as often as I do my clothing that does have pockets. So yeah, that's my last piece. Add pockets. I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel and check out my channel for more videos that are sewing, ranting about sewing, sewing and ranting, or chatting. I don't know, however you want to say it. And that's it. Thank you. Bye.